everyone, this is Maureen and welcome to My Crochet Story. Today is Friday, September the 20th. I was already ready to say September 21st. Mercy. Anyway, it's Friday, September the 20th, and I'm jumping on here this evening to talk to you about the conversations that I have with my amigurumis. Now, this week I took a little break from working on my projects that I've been showing off and on for the last month or so to participate in a amigurumi crochet along with Julianne from Frizzy Bee. Now, it was a 3-day, part 1, 2, and 3. She did each day. They were scheduled to be about an hour each day, but you know, life happens and we had to go over a little bit on part 3. But guys, it was so wonderful to do a crochet along with amigurumi, and you know, there's not a lot of them out there that we get to do with one another. So this one was a lot of fun. I will leave a link down to part 1 for you to go and check out. I really hope that not only when you go and check out the tutorial on this little amigurumi that we built together, but you'll also go and check out everything else that's on her channel. She has a very different take on doing amigurumi. So before I get into sharing what I made with her, let me say thank you to each and every one of you that pop in here to see what it is that I'm up to every time I upload something. You make me very happy whenever you take the time out of your day to see what it is I've posted for you, and to also give me a thumbs up and to leave me a comment. It just makes me feel really good that you're willing to take, like I said, take some time out of your day to see what I'm up to. If this is your first time here, welcome into you as well. I do hope that you'll stay around and look at this little critter that I was able to make up on the amigurumi crochet along, and that you'll take an extra minute to go and check out the wonderful creator of this little amigurumi. Now, the person I'm talking about is Julianne from Frizzy Bee. Now, many of you may already be following her, but I've only picked her up here in the last couple of weeks. And folks, she truly is a delight to not only sit and chat with, but to also watch what it is that she's doing and to see the creativity that she has. Now, what she was working on this last week with us is what she calls her giant floppy cat. Now, she made her critter out of blanket yarn. Now, y'all know Maureen, I am not a big fan of the blanket yarn. Number one, anything above about a 5 weight, it doesn't work well with my hands. I'm just not a fan of it. So even though she made hers in the blanket yarn, I had to make mine out of 4 weight. And yes, I stuck to my traditional 4 weight with the size E or 3.5 millimeter hook, and I'm just as happy with it. So let me tell you a little bit about my cat before I pop her up here. And yes, it is a she. The first day we spent just working on the head. And by the time I got finished with her head and putting her little face on her and everything, she was already yakking at me. And she didn't want to be called kitty cat or anything. Immediately she says, "My name is Aurora, and I would appreciate it if you would dress me as such." Sassy little thing, let me tell you. So anyway, I made her using some Red Heart, the granny square yarn. This one is called Cottage, I think, Crochet Cottage or something like that. Anyway, I know it's a cottage color. It has those beautiful blues and browns and a little bit of beige mixed in with it. So anyway, here she is. As I said, her name is Aurora. Now, you have the option of, when you're crocheting the face, to use the safety eyes. Now, I chose not to use safety eyes. I've kind of got on this kick of embroidering the eyes and the nose. Now, she does on hers, because she's using the blanket yarn, she was able to crochet in the nose. Well, of course, I wasn't going to do about 3 stitches of pink. You know, it just didn't feel like it was worth that trouble with me. And she gives you the option to go back and do what you want to with the nose, which is what I chose to do. So I embroidered the nose, and of course there is instructions on where to put the mouth. She did crochet some little triangular pieces here for the ear inset. I just chose to do some loops or some long stitches, you know, like an embroidery stitch up there for the ears. Now, she shows us how to do a little kitty cat. Now, I got a little carried away. I don't think my cat's tail was supposed to be quite this long, but so I just, you know, and she does tell you, you know, in the pattern, it is fixed to where you can just leave it standing up if you want to. You can curl it around like I did mine, but like I said, I think my cat's tail is pretty long, so I had to do a little bit of extra curling there, but that's okay. And then she has these cute little floppy legs. Yes, little floppy legs. I might have overstuffed the legs just a little bit, but she does stand. Of course, I don't want to move my camera too much, but she does stand. And she can also just lay flat out on her belly like that. Let's see if I can get her to, there you go. But she is cute. I love her to pieces. I think she turned out really, really well. But in the blanket yarn, folks, oh my goodness, you could just see her playing with it. Now, she did show us one that was completed before we even started in the part 1 of the amigurumi, so that we could see what it was going to look like. And I do have to say that in working with the blanket yarn, it does make it very soft and squishy. I mean, you just want to cuddle up with it. But again, I'm not a big fan of using that kind of yarn for my amigurumis, so I just stuck with my good old tried and true 4-weight. But I know many of you love working with the bigger yarns, and especially the blanket yarns. So this, and folks, really, I bet I could sit down and in just one day make one of these, because the instructions are very, very clear. And I tell you something else that I feel like we could do with this little simple pattern. I think I could take these ears and make big old long floppy ears. So then I would have a floppy bunny, or maybe just make these ears a little bit more rounded and have a fluffy puppy. I was trying to think of how I could make it a fluffy elephant. That might take a little bit more you know, designy, maybe just a big old triangle, you know, for the ear. I don't know, but there are some options there for you if you wanted to change up your little floppy critter. But anyway, I just think it is an adorable pattern. I love this one because for me it's hand size, you know, and I think it would also be a good size for maybe a 1 or 2 year old, just to be able to carry something around. But folks, I believe even itty bitties all the way up to some older kids like me that wouldn't mind having a big old floppy kitty made out of the blanket yarn. So please take just a moment. I will leave a link down to her channel specifically for the part 1 of her amigurumi giant floppy cat. So please be sure and go and check her out. That's all I have for you as far as my amigurumi work is concerned. I do hope that you will continue to follow to see how my amigurumis are growing. They're not in timeout. I just, you know, I'm at that stage where I've got a lot of parts and I need to start putting them together. So hopefully the next time we come together, I'll be able to show you how my little elves are doing. But until then, please always remember, be the light out there in the darkness for someone today, because you never know. Could be your light that they need to see. Thank you again so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye.